It is a beautiful day here in Medford as the Tufts University Jumbos will take on the Bates College Bobcats in some NESCAC baseball here today on JumboCast. My name is Jared Cohen, joined on color commentary by Sam Weinstein and Jake Stoller. Should be an interesting game here today. The Jumbos enter today 6-9 on the season, while Bates has had a rough go of things thus far this season. They're 1-9 and have lost 7 in a row coming into today. The sun is out, couple clouds in the sky, some breeze coming in from center field, but should be a great matchup today. It'll be Jacob Lapp on the mound to start today for the Tufts University Jumbos. Coming into today, he has appeared in 3 games, all 3 starts, and has a 6.23 ERA in 13 innings.
Like you said, Jared, the Bobcats coming in today, a rough stretch, losing 7 of the last games. They'll look to turn it around today, see if they can put an end to this 7-game losing streak. And as it is for the Jumbos, they're going to get right back into the swing of things today. A beautiful day to play some baseball.
Yeah, the Jumbos, they're back from sunny California. First game back after a lackluster campaign over in California, went 3-5. They did take one win away from number 10 Pomona, but looking to pick up their first NESCAC win here against Bates today.
And today's schedule originally was for 1 game, but due to weather concerns tomorrow, today will be a doubleheader, so this game is scheduled for 7 innings. Unfortunately, JumboCast will not have coverage for the second game of today's doubleheader. Our apologies, but we will be with you for this 7-inning game. The starting lineup for the Bates College Bobcats, who will be batting here in the top of the first inning. Batting first, the second baseman, Joe Yoxall. Batting second, the center fielder, Keegan Ryan. Batting third, the shortstop, Gibby Sullivan. In the cleanup spot, David Swift, the first baseman. In the 5-hole, right fielder, Jack Margaloff. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, Brandon Begain. The catcher batting seventh, Liam Yardley. The third baseman batting eighth, Ben Genzer. And batting ninth, the left fielder, Nolan Bibbo. It will be John Tully on the mound when we get there next inning. First pitch from Lapp here in Medford is a called strike, and the game is underway.
Yeah, Lapp, I think, really looking to recreate what he put up last season. A lot of quality starts, only one so far this season. Looking to get back into the swing of things there. Gets a second strike called.
Quickly ahead 0-2, Lapp coming off of his best start of the season, 7 scoreless innings against Chapman to go along with 5 strikeouts, but that was over a week ago. The 0-2 pitch, is nowhere close. He had a rough start against Pomona Pitzer before that. Started off the season 4 earned runs in 5 innings against Wheaton. The 1-2 count. Good eye from the batter Yoxall, and he'll run it to 2-2.
Joe Yoxall, Bobcats second baseman here from Dallas, Texas. He's batting .200 on the season.
The 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3 on the inside corner, and Lapp will start his day off with a backwards K.
Yeah, that's really good from Lapp. That's what you want to see from him going into this game. Just, painting the zone, keeping the batters honest. Good start from Lapp. Let's see if he can keep it up.
Lapp threw 13 innings this season, 9 strikeouts, only 1 walk, but he's given up 15 hits and 9 earned runs, so he'll be glad to start off the day with a strikeout. Keegan Ryan now at bat, the center fielder for Bates. Ryan comes into today batting .250, OPS at .760, 2 extra base hits on the season. The first pitch will be a ground out at first, and a quick 2 outs for Jacob Lapp on the mound.
Throwing strikes, that's what's going to happen. You get him to roll over on a ground ball to the shortstop, and a really quick couple pitches here, already 2 outs in the first.
And now Gibby Sullivan up. He's been a bright spot in a not so bright Bates season thus far, posting some good stats. team leader in a couple categories, 2 home runs in a relatively powerless base lineup.
Sullivan's 905 OPS leads the team, and he'll strike that one right up the middle for the first hit of today's game. Sullivan reaches in his first at-bat, and with 2 outs, there'll be a runner on.
Yeah, and he's been a pretty great contact hitter so far. Only batting .250 on the season, but you can see great eye right there, puts it straight up past the second base, and Bates got one on already.
First baseman David Swift at bat with a man on first and 2 outs. Swift thought about it, doesn't swing, it's a strike anyways, 0-1.
Yeah, and Swift's been putting some pretty great work in as a freshman so far. Another bright spot, 1 home run, batting .242. Looking good in this base lineup, batting 4.
The pickoff, he's safe.
Yeah, he's the guy you're gonna want up with runners on. He's leading the team in hits, 8 hits, leading the team in triples, 1 triple, and 6 RBIs, also leading the team in that category as well.
Pitch is low. Lap steadies. Look to pick off again. That one close, but again, safe at first. Wind. It's a pretty windy day here in Medford. You can see the American flag in center field blowing to left field. Favorable for right-handed hitters today. Lap hits the inside corner yet again, 2 strikes.
One, two here. Don't have to give him too much good to hit. Let's see if we can hit the corner here on a 1-2 count.
Lap's pitch is swung on and blooped into right field. That'll fall. Quickly smothered. Throw goes to third. It's too late, so a bloop single will put runners on first and third with 2 outs here in the first inning. David Swift comes through.
Put into place that one much more perfectly there in shallow right field, and good heads-up base running by Gibby Sullivan to get to third on that.
Yeah, and both of these guys get home a decent amount. 8 hits, 5 runs scored for Sullivan, 4 for Swift. Let's see if they're able to do that right now.
So runners on the corners with 2 outs for Jack Margaloff. He swings the first pitch and fouls it off. Margaloff from Rye, New York. Hit .257 last season with a home run, 6 RBIs. No home runs yet this season. He's batting .222. Lap continues to pound the inside corner. Gets another called strike looking. .02. Swung on and missed. Jacob Lapp gets out of it. Put 2 men on with 2 outs, but strikes out Jack Margaloff to get out of the inning, and we will see Tufts at bat in still a 0-0 game in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see from Lapp. 3 strikeouts in that first frame. His season high so far is 5, over halfway there. Just looking to keep that momentum. Maybe even pull that through the rest of the season. Pops up now.
So coming into the bottom of the first inning, let's take a look at the Tufts University Jumbos lineup. It will be Ben Leonard, the left fielder, batting leadoff. A.J. Lisco, the first baseman, batting second. The right fielder, Cooper Smith, batting third. In the cleanup spot, the third baseman, James Henshin, batting fifth. The center fielder, 2-sport athlete, Henry Fleckner, batting sixth. The designated hitter, Owen McKiernan, batting seventh. Connor Bralla, who will be catching today, batting eighth. The shortstop, Ozzie Fleischer, and batting ninth, the second baseman, Jesse McCullough. On the mound for the Bates College Bobcats will be John Tully.
John Tully is a junior right-hand pitcher. He is pitched 11.2 innings on the season. He put up a 11.57 ERA with 15 earned runs, 18 hits allowed. But he does lead the Bobcats in strikeouts.
It has been a struggle, to say the least, for the Bates College, pitching staff so far this season. Their team ERA, 8.17, is last in the NESCAC. They've given up 117 hits in 79 and a third innings, and opponents are batting .358 against them, the worst mark in the NESCAC. It's been a rough go of it thus far this season. The record reflects that at 1-9. See if John Tully can right the ship a little bit for Bates against a Tufts lineup that hasn't been all too dangerous so far this season.
Yeah, other thing with these Bates pitchers, they're really not able to go the distance. Telly himself not able to get through the fifth. Let's see how far he can go today against the Jumbos.
Ben Leonard, having a strong season so far, will be up first. He takes the first pitch low. Leonard batting .373. OPS over 1.2. Got 2 home runs, 2 triples, 6 doubles on the season. Has been far and away the Jumbo's most consistent hitter. Will foul that second pitch back.
Ben Leonard reached 100 career hits earlier this season. Congratulations, Ben.
He has had quite a career so far here in Medford. The leadoff hitter this season, first at bat of the game. He'll fly that into left field. Taken care of easily by Bibbo, 1 out.
And in general, he's the guy that you want leading off for your team. He's, like you said, slashing incredibly so far. And usually a couple times a game, he is a sure thing to get on base. Flies out deep there, but in general, great contact hitter in Leonard.
First baseman AJ Lisco, batting now. Lisco will take the first pitch. He's hitting .313 thus far on the season. Only 1 RBI and no extra base hits. 2 doubles, no triples, no home runs, slugging .406. Lack of power has been an issue for the Jumbo so far this season. Lisco hoping to change that today, but has been a solid contributor thus far this season.
Yeah, but great amount of appearances he's been giving so far. Only started 7 last season, started 8 already. Lack of power indeed, but getting on base has not been an issue for him. He's slashing .313 so far.
2 home runs in 11 games last season for Lisco as he fouls that back. Played football and baseball at St. Sebastian's in high school. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. A strikeout, first of the game for Tully on the mound, and quickly 2 outs for the Jumbos in the bottom of the first.
Strong 2 first batters faced for Tully, limiting pitch count. Looking for a deep run into the game.
Now Cooper Smith at bat. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. Smith, another hitter, high batting average, hitting .365, but very little power. Only 2 extra base hits on the season. He's slugging under .400, but that .365 batting average certainly getting on base. 23 hits leads the Jumbos thus far. And he's an aggressive hitter. Swung at the first 2 pitches, down 0-2.
Well, he's got his fair share of ABs, 63 already on the season. This is his 16th start, all 16 games thus far.
Smith will tag that one up the middle, and so just like the first inning, at the top of the first inning, we will have a base runner with 2 outs as Smith singles and will extend the inning, bringing up James Henshin, the freshman third baseman.
Yeah, story of this Jumbo season so far, like you said, not a lot of power and not a lot of movement on the bases, just only able to get 11 extra base hits so far with only 8 home runs, but still slashing 276. Contact, but no impact. But whoa, good hit deep there.
Henshin swings at the first pitch and will advance Smith to third base. So a hard hit single from John Henshin, and identical to the top of the first, 2 outs and runners on the corners. Jacob Lapp was able to work his way out of that jam just a couple minutes ago. Tully in a similar spot now, and he'll be facing Henry Fleckner, the veteran. He's seen these spots before. The center fielder will look to drive in the first run of the game. Hasn't been all too successful of a season for Fleckner thus far, hitting .237, OPS under 600, slugging only .288, swings and misses at the first pitch. He would love to put one into the gap here and get back into a rhythm.
Well, like you said, parallel to the top of the first inning, Cooper Smith doing a great job getting to third there, hustling all the way.
Tufts batters aggressive early. Fleckner now in a hole, down 0-2 with 2 runners on here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, I think Tully might be looking to take advantage of this aggressiveness. He's someone who more or less has a walk problem, walks quite a few batters a game. A disciplined at-bat might get some jumbos on base. I guess we'll see here.
Fleckner swings and misses, identical to what we saw on the top of the first, and Tully gets out of a jam. So we'll be right back for the start of the second inning. Top of the second inning in a scoreless game here in Medford. The designated hitter, Brandon Begain, up to bat for Bates. Begain, one of the stronger hitters in his Bates lineup last year, but's had a rough go of it so far this season. Last year, Begain, 6 home runs, 28 RBIs, led the team, but so far this year only hitting .206, and his slugging has dropped from .552 to .324. My note sheet just flew away.
It's a windy day here at the Git. Yeah, Begain, a lot of power last season, not as much so far. When you got a catcher DH, you look to him to be not as much of a high volume, but a little bit more of a high power guy. But, like you said, 6 home runs, but hit .295 last season. Pretty impressive. As
wind is whipping here. Some sort of delay going on. Looks like the door may have flown open. Gate open in left field. It really is a windy day. Begain waiting patiently in the batter's box. He'll step back in and look to get something going for this Bates offense. That one paints the outside corner from Lap. And now 1-2 count.
I think Lap's been liking those calls from Blue there on the outside of the zone. He's been attacking that and getting those calls.
The Gain responds by knocking one up the middle for a single. So another base hit for this base offense.
Yeah, that's great eye there. I think, seemed almost identical pitch to that first one there. Recognized that Lap's been liking that. Lap's been getting the calls there. The Gain aggressive attacks, gets on base again for the Bobcat.
Lap, a good control pitcher, as we mentioned, only one walk on the season, but does give up a lot of contact. 15 hits in 13 innings so far this season. He's already given up 3 today. Liam Yardley, the catcher, shows bunt and gets it down. Beautiful bunt will advance the runner with Yardley out at first.
A good job by McCullough to go over to first base there to cover. But it'll be a runner in scoring position here for Bates.
Runner in scoring position indeed at second. The third baseman, Ben Genzer, up to bat, looking to knock in the first run of the game. Genzer only batting .179 on the season so far, no extra base hits. He'll take the first pitch and take it for a strike.
Yeah, and I think Lap's trying to recreate his season last year and how well he played with runners in scoring position. Did not let up that many runs, only 14 on the whole year. He's at 9 already. Trying not to add to that tally here.
That one lined into left field and down for another base hit. That'll bring in a run. An RBI single from Ben Genzer will make this a 1-0 ball game in favor of Bates. Ben Genzer, his 5th RBI on the season, his 6th hit on the season. It's a big one, and Lap gives up his first run of the game.
Yeah, Genser, that's huge for him because he hit .358 last season, OPS at .388, not too much power, but dropped down to .158 so far. That's big to get on the score sheet there.
Yeah, Genzer led the team in batting average last season. Pick play is on. Catcher through to first. Safe. Jumbo's aggressive in trying to pick off runners thus far. Genzer, you mentioned, he had 24 RBIs last season. That was second on the team. Knocks in his 5th on the season right there. Bates could really use a win here today, having lost 7 in a row, and they'll love to get out on top first.
So what you saw there was Genzer actually did a base steal. He kind of took off, stopped midway, and came back, and Tufts with the opportunity to pick him off. It's like they tried there, but Genzer too speedy, got back.
Genzer, no stolen bases yet on the season, but clearly his speed in the mind of Jacob Lapp thus far. Pitch is low.
Yeah, Lapp trying to be aggressive. Like we said, 3 strikeouts in that first frame. None yet in this one. Trying to keep the momentum back on his side.
Pick off again to first. No dice. Wind has died down a little bit for the moment, with Bibbo at the plate. Bibbo lines that one into center field. More hard contact and another single. Ball got down quickly, and it will hold the runner at second base, but Lapp giving up quite a few hits through 2 innings here today. And Bates continuing to threaten as they will get back to the top of their lineup here in the second inning. Joe Yoxel, who struck out looking in the first step out of the game, back up to bat.
Yeah, that was big from the hometown kid, Bibbo, from Wellesley, Mass, coming back to his state, getting on base so quick.
And just his 4th hit there in 11 at bat so far this season.
Ball in the dirt, smothered by the catcher Connor Brala. No one will advance. Yoxel grounds to the shortstop. Double play not completed. Ball got away from the first baseman. Let's go, and that will bring in a run. So what was a chance to turn 2 got away, and instead will advance our score to 2-0 in favor of Bates.
Well, Lisco just not able to dig out the pick there, and the ball gets by him, and just allows Genzer to easily get back to home, and now we got another runner in scoring position with still only 1 out here in the top of the second.
Yeah, I think McCullough at second was scared of some Chase Utley shenanigans there. It was a fearful throw. As you can get this one.
No,
Away again.
He cannot get it. The low hop eats up Lisco at first, and another run comes in. Low throw from the third baseman, Henshin. We'll see what the call on that one is. Error likely on that one. I think the previous play was scored a fielder's choice, but another run in. Runner will advance to second, and now getting a little out of hand for the pitcher, Jacob Lapp. Not entirely his fault. 2 errors, or 2 misplays at least, at first base have led this to become a 3-0 game with 2 outs. That ball is hit high, it's hit deep, and it is gone. A 2-run home run off the bat of Gibby Sullivan will extend this to a 5-0 game here in the second inning. Sullivan tees off on Lapp, and this has become a nightmare inning for the Jumbos. That's Sullivan's 3rd home run of the season, and the Bates leading slugger adds another one to his total.
Wow, Jared. You know, Bates' bats have been really aggressive. Lapp's been doing a good job, giving Tufts 2 opportunities to get out of it with ground balls, but Gibbe does not disappoint. He stays aggressive. Beautiful drive to left field. Wow.
Well, it all starts there with a ground ball deep in the third base slot. Henshin throwing it over to the first base, not able to pick it out again is Lisco, and it's all downhill from there. Crooked number up for Bates, 5 runs in this inning.
Bates' team came in today wanting to win badly, and they put themselves in a position to do so. Certainly feel for Jacob Lapp, as you mentioned. Put the Jumbos in a position to get out of the inning, rolled what looked like a double play ball, and then a grounder to third base, both of which could have led to this inning ending. Jumbos couldn't take advantage, and now 5-0 is the score as David Swift, the first baseman, comes to bat. He singled in the first inning. That home run tracked at 376 feet. A beautiful bomb to left field, and it's the reason why the Bates Bobcats have a commanding lead here in the second.
Yeah, I mean, Swift looking to tack on again here. He homered against Renneslaer, but
Is that how you pronounce that? I've never figured it out.
it might be
Renesselaar.
Renneslaer.
I don't think that's right either. That pitch outside. Tufts waited on it. The strike never came, and a walk now. Lapp's first walk of the game in this inning will continue.
Stoller, you played baseball back in the day, right?
I did.
So you're a pitcher here. What's going through your mind right now?
Well,
A bomb, a walk, a lot of errors in the field. What are you thinking?
I never pitched, but I saw that pitching coach for Tufts come out and give me a talk, and if I'm issuing a 4-pitch walk right after that, I'm either my arm's hurting or I'm laboring out there, and I'm not expecting to go much further. I'm expecting the coach to come out and yank me here soon. So we'll see if Tufts warms anyone up in the bullpen, but
Yeah, it looks like some arms might be getting warm over there.
Only one of Lapp's 5 runs allowed are marked as earned. So his line thus far, 1 2/3 innings, 5 runs, 1 earned run, 6 hits, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. Has certainly gotten a little bit unlucky here in the second. Now a 1-1 count. He'll fire to first. No dice yet again.
well, and to Lap's credit, 5 runs, but only 1 earned so far. Not being helped out by his defense here at all. So not a great outing, but Only one earned run.
1-1 pitch,
Doesn't fall.
just outside.
He looks disappointed out there. I think he was expecting to get that call. I think he's been getting it all game, especially against these right-handed batters.
Yoxel's hit was scored as a fielder's choice, in which he advanced to second on a scoring error, followed by a throwing error on the third baseman, Ryan, that also scored a run. So 2 errors in the inning for the Jumbos, leading up to the home run for Gibby Sullivan. And then a walk put Swift on first. And now a 2-2 count with 2 outs to Margoloff, who will take it on the outside corner for a called strike 3. But mercifully, this inning ends for the Jumbos. The lead now 5-0 on the back of 2 errors and then a bomb to left field for Gibby Sullivan. Jumbos have their work cut out for them here in the bottom of the second, and we'll be right back. We are back here on JumboCast for the bottom of the second inning. Not how the Jumbos expected this one to go thus far today. A 5-0 deficit they find themselves in. As the first pitch is taken by Owen McKiernan, the designated hitter.
But what the Jumbos need here is a bounce back inning. You gotta just put that crooked number behind you and look to put some guys on base, and it all starts here with your designated hitter, McKiernan. He's batting .227 on the season in 22 at-bats, 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 RBI.
Goes to a knee as he fouls that one back. McKiernan 8 appearances thus far in the season out of Phillips Exeter, the famed boarding school. He's a junior majoring in economics. We'll look to start a rally here. Good eye from him. Will even the count at 2-2.
Yeah, and I think this is what you need from the Tufts bats right now. Some patience in the box. You know, let Tully get some pitches out. They've been very aggressive. Bloops one up.
That one into right field and dropping. It will fall for a base hit. He takes a big turn at first base, but thinks better of it and goes back. So a single into right field for McKiernan, his 6th hit on the season. And some life for the Jumbos with no outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Will bring up the catcher, Connor Bralla.
Another well-placed blooper there into right field. Exactly what you need from your leadoff hitter in the inning. Runner on first with Bralla coming up.
Bralla, the graduate student, thrust into a even bigger role this year with catcher Malcolm Whitfield out for the season. Bralla, though, a strong player in his own right, hit .333 last year with 4 home runs and 7 RBIs in only 18 at-bats. So he's got some pop, already has a home run thus far this season. That one gets away from the catcher and McKiernan will advance to second base. Think that one will be a passed ball.
Passed ball it is. Just hooks it right off the glove to the backstop. Easy advance to second base for Brandon.
And Brala, a guy who didn't really play very much his first 2 seasons, 2021, 2022, got into 22 at-bats in 11 games in 2023 and then 8 games last season, but he's stuck around and he's found himself a starting job as a grad student here. This year, he'll have an opportunity to knock in a run with a man on second.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest holes he has to fill here, catching for the Jumbos, is the defensive hole, Whitfield, all NESCAC defense in 2024, has to play well in the box, walks there, but also has to play well behind the plate.
4-pitch walk there, issued by Tully, and you'll see your first traffic on the bases for the Jumbos.
So 2 on and no out. Jumbo's looking for a quick response to the 5 spot in the top of the second inning. The control issues for John Tully have been consistent this season. 15 walks in 11 2/3 innings. He issued a 4-pitch walk right there and starts Ozzie Fleischer off with a ball as well. So the Jumbos will look to be picky against a pitcher they know has some command issues.
Yeah, and Fleischer's the guy you want in this situation. 25 RBIs last season, already has 9. Such a career great hitter for the Tufts Jumbos, looking to poke at least a run in with one in scoring position.
Fleischer has struggled this season, only hitting .214, OPS under 500, but he's a guy this coaching staff certainly has a lot of trust in. And he's got a good eye thus far. 2-1 is the count. McCullough, Fleischer, and Fleckner, the bottom 3 in this lineup, have all struggled so far. Excuse me, Fleckner batting 5th, but Fleischer 8th and McCullough 9th. They've all struggled thus far this season, and any way they could turn it around would go a long way for the Jumbos. That one fouled back. Fleischer, the former NESCAC Defensive Player of the Year, will swing at that one, and another foul ball into the parking lot.
Say it's a hazard parking here at the GIT. You never know what's going to happen to your windshield.
They used to
pull out.
play a little sound effect, the ball breaking the glass. I didn't hear it that time. 2-2 pitch, swung on and just fouled off. Good work from Fleischer to get a bat on that one and extend the at-bat. 2-2 remains the count.
Fleischer got a piece of that one, but the catcher Yardley not able to squeeze it, and the at-bat will continue.
That one, though, swung and miss on the outside, and Fleischer goes down, so 1 out. Still 2 on, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Jesse McCullough. Again, another hitter struggling thus far this season, only hitting .209. 1 extra base hit, 5 RBIs, slugging .256. But he's in a spot to put some runs up.
Yeah, and on that strikeout swing, Tully, too, has been attacking that outside corner on the right-handed batter. It almost looks like a slider sweeper coming across. Goes inside this time. Doesn't get the call, but he and Lapp seem to like what Blue's been giving him on that side of the plate.
One 1-0 pitch. McCullough looking to do some damage. He'll swing that one out into right field across the outstretched arm of the second baseman. That'll bring in a run. McCullough takes a turn at first. He'll stay. Runner advances to third, and an RBI single for Jesse McCullough, the first run of the day for Tufts University. And it'll cut that lead to 5-1.
Well, the turf coming into play there, that one was lined just past the second baseman, but it had a lot of momentum going on it, and as the right fielder came in to get it, it squeaked past, which allowed Rala to advance to third.
Could be a confidence builder for McCullough, his 6th RBI on the season. And we'll be back to the top of the lineup. Ben Leonard, you know he loves to hit in spots like this. 9 RBIs on the season already. 373 hitter. Will look to drive in at least one more with 1 out and men on the corners.
Curious to see what Tully does here against a lefty.
That ball, sky to center field, caught. The runner will tag up from third. Throw goes to second base, and the run will come in. So 5-2. Ben Leonard does his job and gets a run home.
Yeah, and like I said, I think he went exactly where he's been going, but that was up and inside on Leonard. Leonard saw it, swung early, carried it deep enough in the center to get the catcher home.
It's never a guarantee on a sac fly that your catcher's going to be able to tag, but
True.
just deep enough. Rala's able to get in there.
Lisco now batting with 1 on and 2 outs. Runner goes, pitches low in the dirt. The throw is solid, and he got him. A caught stealing. The catcher, Yardley, makes a strong throw, and that will end the inning. So the Jumbos respond with 2 runs of their own on an RBI single and a sac fly, and it's 5-2 now, heading into the third. Back here from Saul Gittleman Stadium for the top of the third inning. First pitch swung on, grounded to the shortstop, thrown on to first. That one, a solid connection. Fleischer to Lisco, and 1 quick out. Brandon Begain grounds out to the shortstop.
Yeah, that reestablishes the trust in the infield, I think, a little bit. Lisco trying to make up for 2, maybe not his fault. Maybe they were miscues in that last inning.
Strike call.
Another thing you're looking at is pitch count for such a short game. Lap at 41 pitches. And that first at bat, 1 pitch, 1 out. So, great start.
Only a 7-inning game here, first half of the doubleheader. And after a 1 pitch out, the pitcher Lap now ahead 0-2 on the catcher Liam Yardley. The 0-2 pitch fought off.
Oh.
And
Someone check on
something just,
Noah upstairs,
just got to hit our cameraman in the line of fire. Catcher Yardley will take the 0-2 pitch outside.
Yeah, it looks like the sun is drawing a little crowd out here. We got a good amount of people behind the plate here watching.
Yardley lines that one into left field. That one is high, and that one is gone. A home run off the bat of the catcher, Liam Yardley. The second home run of the day for the Bates Bobcats. Liam Yardley, his first career home run, will extend this lead. Everything's flying out to left field today.
Well, that one, almost an identical home run to the first one, and the Bobcats crowd making themselves heard here. I was talking about the crowd, but seems like a good amount of Bobcat fans here, so.
Ben Genzer, the third baseman.
We'll check on that. Thanks.
Up to bat, he singled and recorded an RBI in his first at-bat of the game.
Yeah, Lapp really looking to make up for some miscues against right-handed batters. So far, 2 deep bombs into left. Trying to build back here.
Genzer down 0-2. Yardley was down 0-2, and he went deep. Genzer will take that one outside. Six to 2 your score. 1-2 count. Swung on and missed. Van Genzer went chasing on the outside, and another strikeout for Lapp will bring us to 2 outs in the inning, and Nolan Bibbo, the left fielder, will come to bat.
Nice situational pitching right there. 1-2 count. Still don't have to give him anything too good to hit, and he gets a little chase there. Good bounce back at bat.
Bibbo singled in his first at-bat. He looks to lay down a bunt, takes it back at the last second for a called ball.
What a name, by the way. Nolan Bibbo. It's a great name.
Bibbo takes outside. 2-0 the count. Is grounded up the middle. Play from Fleischer. Quick throw to first base will get him. So top of the third ends. 1 run scored on the home run from Liam Yardley to left field. Advances the score 6-2 in favor of Bates. Jumbos will come back and again try to get a rally together against a Bates pitching staff that has struggled this season. Jumbos continue to have their work cut out for them here in the bottom of the third. It will be A.J. Lisco, the first baseman, back up to bat. He was batting at the end of the second inning when a caught stealing ended the threat prematurely. So Lisco will get another shot here. He struck out swinging in his first at-bat, and he'll take a ball low to begin his second.
I think something important to note right now is the pitch count disparity. Lap up over 50, I'm pretty sure. With Tully just around 35. Good play there at the bag. Hustle there.
Lisco grounds out to first. And as you mentioned, pitch count, Tully makes quick work of Lisco. So 1 out here in the bottom of the third. And Cooper Smith will come to the plate to the sound of Mac Miller.
Great song.
Smith singled in his first at-bat, but was unable to score as the Jumbos stranded 2 runners in the first inning on a Henry Fleckner strikeout. Smith will single again here, drops that one into left field, and he's 2 for 2.
Great job going with the pitch on that one, lifting it just over into shallow left field, and a runner on for the Jumbos with 1 out.
Henshin, the freshman third baseman at bat, he also singled in his first at bat. Advanced Smith to third, also responsible for a throwing error that scored a run earlier today. He'll look to get a little bit of redemption. Would love to put one into left field like Bates has done twice. Wind has picked back up a little after dying out in between the top and bottom of the third. Continues to blow out to left field.
Yeah, that's the 25th hit on the season for Cooper Smith. Some great hitting done by him thus far in this young baseball campaign.
Smith up over 370 now on the season. His batting average continues to put the bat on the ball and get on base. Henshin would like to do the same. That pitch nowhere close, and 2-1 will be the count. Henshin takes a ball outside, so 3-1. Tully has walked 1 so far today, 3 strikeouts, 5 hits allowed, 2 earned runs through 2 1/3. Remember, this is a 7-inning game, part of a doubleheader today. That one flied into right field decently deep, but playable. Ball is caught by the right fielder, no advance. Margolov takes it in, and that's now 2 outs.
Yeah, Tully playing these longer at-bats pretty well, like we said. Some command issues, walks a decent amount of batters in his 3 starts so far, but relatively honest so far. Only 1 walk. 5 hits let up, but still staying ahead of the curve so far.
Fleckner struck out in the first to end that threat. Runner on first for him now with 2 outs again. Fleckner also a wide receiver for the Tufts University football team, the co-runner-up in the NESCAC this season. Fleckner will take a strike and is down 0-1.
Yeah, some Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders action for Tufts here, a little 2-sport athlete.
Speed transfers, too, leads the Jumbos in stolen bases, something you definitely see in wide receivers in football.
Deep threat on the field and a runner for this baseball team as well. He'll look to get on base and kind of get into a rhythm. As we mentioned, only 1 extra base hit on the season, though it is a home run. He does have some pop. That one skied very high on the infield. Third baseman calls it, and he will make the catch. Genzer brings it in and ends the inning. So it will remain 6-2 as we head to the top of the 4th. Top of the fourth. Leading off for Bates, the second baseman, Joe Yoxel, struck out looking and flied out in his 2 at-bats so far, but a comfortable 6-2 lead for Bates here in the fourth. Lapp remains on the mound. That one lined in the right field, but right at the right fielder, Smith. 1 out.
Yeah, I think the pitching staff is definitely keeping a close eye on Lapp's pitch count. He gets out of that at bat pretty quickly. Has, had his way with Yoxel so far this game. Hopefully he can get quickly out of this inning and they can pull him into the fifth as well.
Shows bunt, but takes it back in time. Keegan Ryan at bat. He grounded out in his first at bat, reached on an error in his second. Part of the 5-run top of a second inning for Bates. Lapp paints the outside corner, maybe a generous call for a strike right there, and evens the count at 1-1.
Well, with today being a doubleheader now, you wouldn't mind Lapp going kind of pretty deep into this only 7-inning game, preserving your bullpen for the next game, which will take place right after. Not a bad idea to let him ride out a couple more innings.
The second game will be 9 innings, so bullpen certainly in play there. Strike 3 swinging. Lapp makes quick work of Keegan Ryan, and now 2 quick outs here in the top of the fourth, and Lapp certainly making a case to go deeper in this game. As we mentioned, only 2 earned runs out of the 6 allowed so far.
But now it is one of 2 home run hitters, Gibby Sullivan, coming up.
Sullivan singled in his first at-bat, home run to left in his second. He'll look to go deep again here. He's up 1-0 on Lapp. With 2 outs, he'll at least like to put the bat on the ball and get on base. That one taken high, now 2-0. Wind still blowing to left. Takes a third ball. Lapp with 2 outs already, maybe pitching around Sullivan a little bit. He has been the most dangerous hitter for Bates throughout this young season. Crowd filling in here at the Git, as that one is taken for a strike, now 3-1. It's a beautiful day and a decent audience here in attendance.
No 3-0 count swing there from Sullivan. What are your guys' thoughts on a swing 3-0?
I was never very good at baseball. That one, right fielder came in, but backs pedals and makes the catch. That Smith puts it away, and quick 3 outs. I think probably not looking for the green light, up 6-2 in a 3-0 count with 2 outs. My coach never gave me that, but I was also, as I said, not very good at baseball. More of a basketball guy myself in terms of getting it done on the court. I had a couple seasons back in the day, I just didn't get on base at all. Well, I could draw some walks, but
Yeah.
never. I hit 1 home run in my entire career as a baseball player, and I got called back because I used an illegal bat.
You were using a corked bat in
It
Little League
was
gym?
it was a metal bat that was not allowed in the league, and I got all the way home, and I was so excited, and the other team was like, "That bat is not allowed," and an ump picked it up and went out, and I just it was a terrible feeling. And that pretty much sums up my baseball career.
Oh my God.
It took until the home run to find the court.
Yeah, they waited
It
for you
wasn't
to get
court,
home.
but that's why I'm here and not on the field.
Permanent stain to your reputation in the sport.
And
That's perfect.
it wasn't even my bat. I was borrowing someone else's bat. It looked nice. Apparently, it was against the rules. So it happens, but it doesn't happen here. 6-2 the score for Bates. The Jumbos looking to just put another inning together. They threatened in the first. They put 2 on the board in the second, but not much doing since then. 2 runs on 5 hits total as we enter another inning here. It will be, I can't see the back of his
McKiernan.
jersey,
McKiernan.
McKiernan, excuse me, the designated hitter. Owen McKiernan, he singled in his first at-bat. He'll look to get on again against Tully, who remains in the game. First pitch, just outside, bit of an inconsistent outside zone in terms of balls and strikes against right-handed batters here today.
Yeah, Tully gives him a little nod, like, I see it. Okay, fine.
Comes back with another pitch outside, and now 2-0. Tully has done a good job limiting the damage in terms of free passes so far today, especially for a guy who has struggled with that so far this season. We've talked about this Bates pitching staff. They've been lit up game after game. Tufts hasn't been able to do that thus far, as that one is fouled off. Been some brutal outings, really, for Bates this season. They lost 20-2 to Endicott, and they'd scored 2 or fewer in 5 consecutive games entering today. They broke that streak by putting 6 on the board. That one, a called strike on the inside corner, and a very inside corner from our angle here. Will run the count 2-2.
That was a really good pitch from Tully. It broke really far inside, and he sends him searching for a strike 3 swinging. But some good stuff that Tully's dipping into the bag right here.
Good pitch sequencing for sure from Tully. Hits the outside corner, then comes inside, and then a breaking ball in the dirt gets McKiernan to strike out swinging, which will bring up the catcher Connor Bralla. He walked in his first at-bat. Talked about him. He's got a fair amount of power in that bat right there. Wind is still blowing to left field, but patience is a virtue for these Tufts hitters. 1-0.
Yeah, Bralla is Tully's only walk so far. Maybe he has the discipline that some of the rest of the lineup has been lacking so far. He didn't think he went there, but the ump thought differently.
I like the patience Brawla's showing so far in this at-bat, and really what the Jumbos have been doing this inning is, you're down 4 in the 4th inning. You're not going to go for it all at once. You're going to chip away. You're going to try to get runners on, and, well, you don't want to chase it once like that, but...
Ring up another one. A strong inning from Tully. He gets Bralla to go down swinging as well, so 2 swinging strikeouts to begin the bottom of the 4th. He'll look to set down the side in order with Fleischer up to bat. Fleischer struck out his first time. Swings the first pitch and fouls it off.
We're not there yet, but I would love to see some overlay on this guy's arm, because they've been really chasing on inside there, but they've been really chasing on the pitches to the right-hand batter outside. I wonder if it looks like that fastball that he sends inside right there.
1-1 is in the dirt and outside. Two and one now. Swung on, line drive, diving stop from the shortstop. He'll get it to first in time for the out.
Well, that is a spectacular play all around. Shortstop making a strong throw to first, and the first baseman laying out all the way, using every inch of his height to get that out there at first place. Spectacular play.
Gibby Sullivan, the man of the match so far for Bates. He hit a home run, and now a diving play at shortstop to rob Fleischer of a hit. Tufts coaching staff not happy. Maybe they think he didn't hold the bag at first.
I don't think anyone had a better eye on that than the first base umpire there. He seems to be illustrating that to Stark on the third base line, but wow. Yeah, Sullivan doing it all here on both sides of the game.
A highlight play to end the 4th inning.
They're going to talk about
The umpires will come together and talk it over. Not sure if they can't even reverse the call that they've already made. No instant replay here today.
Yeah, so if the other field umpire sees something that he disagrees with, they can come together and come to the conclusion that they should turn it around. What I think happened, though, is the first base umpire is standing behind first base, and that's exactly the direction that the first baseman had to stretch to reach, so his body could have been blocking the base, and they'll call him out.
They'll confirm the call on the field as out after a brief conference. That'll be the end of the fourth inning. We'll be right back for the top of the fifth. Leading off here in the top of the fifth is the first baseman, David Swift. He walked in his first at bat, singled in his first at bat, walked in his second at bat. Last inning ended on a highlight play from the shortstop Sullivan. So now we're in the top of the fifth. Again, only a 7-inning game here today. Bates are in the driver's seat as we enter really the final stretch here in Medford. Both starting pitchers remain in the game. Lapp on the mound for Tufts, and we will see if Tully will remain when we get to the bottom of the fifth for Bates. 1-2 count to Swift. Ball way inside. It'll be 2-2.
And I think they're going to be watching each and every one of his pitches pretty carefully right here. He's up at 65 pitches now. A lot for the junior. Good play there in the field.
1 out now in the top of the fifth, and that will bring up Jack Margoloff. It's been a successful game for Bates so far, but Margoloff not so much struck out swinging in his first at-bat and then went down looking in his second. He'll look to be the last player on this team to reach base today. Everyone else has reached so far. Margoloff will take strike one.
Well, it's safe to say that hasn't happened for Bates much this season, and so it's been a good day for them.
Well, helped out by a little bit of poor defense from the Jumbos. This Bates offense entered today last in the NESCAC in batting average, last in the NESCAC in runs, last in the NESCAC in hits, last in the NESCAC in slugging percentage, and last in walks and stolen bases as well. Despite that, they lead 6-2 today. So, goes to show anything can happen in a game of baseball. Tufts still lagging behind here today, though up ahead 0-2 is Lapp on Margoloff. He'll look to set him down for the third time today. Margoloff will fight it off.
Yeah, despite the 2 home runs off of him, not an awful outing from Lapp at all. He's reached his season high in strikeouts already with 5, searching for number 6 right now with 2 strikes already.
That one to the third baseman, Henshin. He'll throw across the diamond. And a quick 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. So Margoloff 0 for 3.
Well, similar play to the one we saw before where Lisco couldn't dig out, but they redeemed themselves there. Henshin able to just toss it over nice and easy and maybe restore some confidence.
Brandon Begain, the designated hitter now at bat. Single and a ground out thus far. Aggressive early in the count here, and we'll be down 0-1.
Yeah. Lap's still searching for that outside location.
Tufts softball just a couple 100 feet away from us, won 8-3 in their first half of a doubleheader against Bowdoin College here today. They're going to start up their second game in around 30 minutes. You can tune into that on JumboCast as well. We'll also be back on Sunday for another doubleheader. That will be Tufts versus Amherst College in softball here at Spicer Field.
Yeah, both the men and the women opening up their NESCAC campaigns here. And this would be just an absolutely massive NESCAC pickup for Bates. You know, they've only picked up one of the last 11 against Tufts in the conference. And every win in this small conference means just so much.
This was certainly a game and certainly a doubleheader that Tufts came in to expecting to at least put up a fight and hopefully come out with a win, especially at 6-9, an opportunity against what they perceive maybe as a lesser opponent to get back on track early today, but has not been the case so far. Ground ball to the third baseman slowly and fair. The throw across the diamond is picked by the first baseman, Lisco. What a play from Henshin. What a pick from Lisco. And Lap gets out of the inning. So another scoreless frame will can keep our score at 6-2 as we head to the bottom of the fifth on the back of a highlight play.
Yeah, and that's huge because Lap put together a really nice at-bat. You know, it was a full count. Puts the ball in play, and Henshin with an absolute dime to the first baseman, trusting your boy, you know, despite some of the past balls in the start. Child on the field right now. I wonder what's going on.
He's a ball boy.
I see. And
Yeah, no, there was no
But
no loose runaway children on the field. He is a member of the coaching staff in some manner. He's the ball boy.
gotta love some child labor here.
That was that was a tough play, I would say. Slow bouncing ball to third base. That can eat up a third baseman, kind of an in-between hop, but he made a play confidently and a great pick from Lisco to seal it on the other end. Again, the Jumbos have a chance to at least get back into this one. One or two runs and you're within striking distance going in to the end of this ball game, but you got to get it done now.
Yeah, Lisco, like we've said, not a traditional first baseman. Beautiful pick play. Love to see it backing up, or responding rather, to some really great defense by Sullivan and the Bobcats right on the other side of the frame with Henshin.
Tully, meanwhile, will remain on the hill. He's back out for his fifth inning of the day. Thus far, his line: 4 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, 5 hits allowed. Certainly one of his better outings on the season. And he will look to make it 5 innings here as he gets ahead quickly against this Tufts lineup.
Yeah, like I said with Lap, Tully actually got his season high in strikeouts, got 5 so far. Ooh, fouled off his foot there. From Tufts.
McCullough at bat.
McCullough.
He singled in his first at bat. Would like to do that again here. Second baseman veteran for this team. Tufts needs a rally, and he would like to be a part of it.
When you come up here as the first batter in the inning in the 9-hole, what you're doing here is trying to turn the batting lineup over. You got your top hitters coming up to bat. Ben Leonard on deck. And if you can get a guy on base, that's ideal. Work a count and let your offense do what it does with your top 3 hitters coming up next.
Yeah, but Tully not afraid to go after this 9-hitter.
Off-speed pitch there, looped into right field. That'll be another single for Jesse McCulloch, so he's done a good job fighting off some tough pitches from Tully, and he's 2 for 2 now on the day. The Jumbos will start this inning off with a base runner, exactly what they wanted, and it will bring up their star hitter, Ben Leonard, who did drive in a run on a sac fly in his last at-bat. He'll have another shot here to do some damage.
As if speaking it into existence, right? That's exactly what he just did. He got on base, and you got your offensive powerhouse right here in Ben Leonard. Perfect opportunity for a comeback inning.
Leonard did not like that call.
A little bit high and inside, but nicks the strike zone for strike one. McCulloch looking to threaten at first base. He can run. That one well outside, and it'll be 1-1.
You can hear from the Tufts dugout. They know how big the situation is right here with no outs. What an opportunity that they have. Cheering on their guy from the dugout. That's a big part of baseball. Keeping your guys in line and rooting them on.
And with your 9-hole hitter, as you mentioned, reach in to begin the inning. This is a prime opportunity for this Tufts lineup to get something going. Really, your 3 best hitters coming up right now. Leonard fouls that one back, runs the count to 1-2.
Yeah, this is a good position for Leonard, though. He loves when men are on base, at least this season. Only 13 RBIs last season, but he's brought that up to 9 already. Puts one in play.
Bobbled by the second baseman. Will not recover in time. The throw got there, but drew the first baseman, Swift, off of the bag. And so, presumably, what will be ruled an error on the second baseman, Yoxel, will lead to 2 runners on with no outs for the Jumbos. See if the umpires have anything to consult about here, but an unfortunate misplay for Yoxel will put the Jumbos in a position to get back in this with A.J. Lisco, the first baseman, up to bat.
Yeah, really, really crucial error there, really, because if he gets that to the shortstop in time, you have a potential for a double play, and that's the difference between 2 outs and none here, as the Bates coach will come out to have a discussion with the field umpire.
John Martin in his 9th season as the head coach for this Bates team. Doesn't get the answer he wants, maybe, but the umpires will confer. It was a confident call at first base that the throw drew the first baseman Swift off the bag. We'll see if they change their mind on that. Coach Martin has been head coach since 2016. He was the 2019 NESCAT Coach of the Year after leading the Bobcats to a 19-17 record. They will not change the call at first base. Safe is the call. He is also the all-time winningest baseball coach in Vassar's history before he became head coach here at Bates. His team up 6-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. But an opportunity, one swing could make this a 1-run game. Tying runner is on deck. First pitch swinging. Another bobble. That one up in the air from the first baseman. A toss will be in time at first base to get the runner. That was a close play. From our angle, looked like he might have beat it by a step. The umpire disagrees. And so Lisco called out at first. That is a tough call for the Jumbos. Maybe a makeup call, maybe not. But either way, it will advance the runners to second and third. Umpires definitely having a tough go of it, at least at first base. Now, 1 out in the inning. That one definitely disappointing if you're the Tufts offense.
You know, I never believed in makeup calls for one, but from here, that he definitely looks safe at first. I'm not gonna hold it against the umpire, but a makeup call is there's no such thing as a makeup call.
It's more a thing in basketball, frankly, than in baseball. But certainly the Tufts dugout not happy with that one. Nevertheless, they will have to continue with 1 out in the inning.
Ball on the field there, deep in center, I think. But yeah, Jake, I'm gonna have to agree with you. Looked at least to be a tie at the bag, but you know, it's a it's not an automated game. There will be human error. Regardless, I think after that call stands. Before that, you're sensing a little bit of momentum shift here, maybe. Tying runner still on deck, or yeah. And with two in scoring position right now,
That
ball
one
in play.
on the ground. He'll go home with the throw. It is in time to nail the runner at home.
That's a curious decision by McCullough, because on a ground ball to the third baseman, you're gonna have a real tough time getting there, beating the throw to home plate. You're taught as a base runner to read it, and if it's deep enough at third base, you can go. But I'm not sure about that base running decision.
McCullough went on contact and gets nailed at the plate. Kind of a rough collision. The tag was on the helmet. But now the Jumbos potentially will get out of this inning with no runs scored. Still runners on first and third with 2 outs now. First pitch is a strike to James Henshin.
Yeah, like you said, some interesting base running, but just some good defense there from Bates. Good tag at the plate by Yardley.
That one blooped into center, dropping, but not in time. It will be caught by the center fielder, Ryan, and Bates gets out of a jam. 2 on and no outs, and no runners come across the score for Tufts. It will remain a 6-2 ball game, and we will be right back. Back here in the top of the 6th inning, Lapp remains on the mound for the Jumbos after a disappointing bottom of the 5th. The Jumbos couldn't get out with a run, so it remains 6-2 your score. Lapp facing, as my papers blow away yet again. Seems to be an issue here today.
Well, Lapp's still looking for the call on that outside of the plate and not getting it.
Yardley at bat. He went deep earlier today and will take a strike right there. Now 2-1 the count. Lapp through 5 innings, only 2 earned runs, so those 6 allowed total. 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, 7 hits.
Yeah, up over 80 pitches thrown. That might be a season high, or maybe even a career high for him. They're really putting him through the ringer right now.
Lapp went 7 innings in his last outing, so giving the Jumbos some length as of late. Wind picking up again very strongly, maybe towards home plate a little bit, maybe out to the left side of the field. Lapp's pitch is low and inside. Haven't had very many 3-2 counts today, but we have one right here, runs the count full. The pitch from Lapp is called strike 3. Just gets the inside corner and sets down Liam Yardley.
Already on his way to first base there. He thought that one missed, but home plate umpire disagreed, and he'll return to the dugout.
Always wondered if the reaction of the hitter in the box influences the decision by the umpire. Do you run to first? Do you wait for the call? If you wait there, are you giving up? Are you telling the umpire it is a strike? I don't know. That's one first pitch, a very, very high fly ball into left field, called on and caught by Ben Leonard, and 2 outs for Lapp already here in the top of the 6th. He's looking to give the Jumbos even more. Now at 87 pitches, likely will be his last, but doing a good job keeping the Jumbo bullpen intact. Again, 7-inning game. There will only be one more inning after this, presuming the Jumbos do not come back from this 4-run deficit. Now 2 outs. Another first pitch swung at and flied onto the infield, called for by the third baseman, Henshin, and he'll make the catch. So a very quick inning for Lapp. Possibly could see him come back out for the 7th. 88 pitches through 6th. And now the Jumbos will come out in the bottom of the 6th. They're one of only 2 shots left to try to get back into this ball game, and we'll be right back for that. Back here, first pitch swinging, but just foul down the third baseline. Off the bat of Henry Fleckner. Jumbos, again, looking to put together some sort of rally. My handwriting is so bad that I thought the 7 I wrote was a 17 for Henry Fleckner's number. Fleckner struck out in his first at-bat today. Would like to get on base here. Saw last inning, though, 2 runners on, no outs. Jumbos couldn't do anything with it. And it still is John Tully on the mound for Bates, his best start of the season.
Well, adding to his total in strikeouts, 5 on today, already led the team from before, and putting together a good campaign. Only 2 runs led up by him today. Both of them earned.
Tully's best start of the season was against MIT, 5 1/3, 3 earned runs. As another one is fouled off, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. He's definitely topped those numbers here today. He's through 5 innings thus far, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. If he can get through this one, it will be his first time through 6 innings this season. That one hits the inside corner for strike 3. Umpire's been given that call all day long. Fleckner takes it looking, and 1 down.
Yeah, Tully now at 6, like we said, strikeouts. Some good work from him. Like you said, had a great game against MIT. Well, not great, better than usual for him. But this is one of his first quality starts so far, and his pitch count's not looking obscenely high. They might keep him to save the bullpen for that doubleheader game as well.
McKiernan now will take a strike on the outside corner. He singled in his first at-bat and struck out swinging in his second. The designated hitter today will take a pitch low. Now 2-1 is the count.
I'm just peering into the Bates College bullpen. It does appear like they have someone warming over there, but Tully only with 77 pitches now.
That one fouled back into the parking lot, hit our director Z Millie's car. McKiernan now 2-2 count. That one outside runs the count full. McKiernan takes that one inside and draws a walk. Catcher wanted it called strike 3, but well inside, and will put McKiernan on base for the second time today, and it will bring up the catcher, Connor Brala.
Well, you talk about consistency from the umpire, something that catchers are always looking for, and that pitch looked to be similar to what Fleckner saw on his called strikeout, but Tully not able to get the call that time.
Time to string some base runners together. If you're Tufts, first pitch swinging, Brala swings and misses, and now 0-1.
Yeah, Tully, though, only his second walk of the game, I think his first since the second inning. Like we've said all game, a lot better command and control from him. He steps off to check the runner at first, but, a really good outing for him, and I think he's one of the main reasons that Bates has such a healthy lead. Tufts put together a really good inning last inning off of a couple of errors, but, he's been getting grounded, he's been getting pop-ups, but most importantly, he's been getting strikeouts.
Batters were batting .391 against Tully entering today, but the Jumbos have not been able to string together all too many hits. 6 on the day so far, only 2 runs on the board. Tully looking to get through 6 and potentially 7 with his low pitch count so far today. 1-2 is the count.
Well, you take a look at the box score, and Bates has only recorded one more hit than Tufts, but the 4-run lead shows that there's other information that you're missing. On those 2 errors looming large, walks been a problem, and it adds up.
Tully spiked that one, and it was perfect timing for the runner to move up, so might be credited as a stolen base there for McKiernan. And now no double play possibility and a man in scoring position with 1 out.
Good hustle there from the guy. Shuffled his way into second. Runner in scoring position. What can the Jumbos do?
Tully will step off. Brala has 5 RBIs on the season. Would like to make it 6 if he can. The 2-2 pitch. Just tipped by Brala, and he'll stay alive.
Pivotal, like you said, at-bat here. It can either be 2 outs to the runner on second or a ball in play with a healthy lead off the bag from McKiernan at second. A lot of leeway on the game for Brala right now.
Brala is hit by the pitch, just a bit too inside from Tully, and he'll put runners on first and second. The ball boy coming out to replenish baseballs for the umpire. And another opportunity now with 1 out for the Jumbos to do some damage. Maybe not too upset about that. If you're Tully, you'll set back up the double play possibility, but it will bring up Ozzie Fleischer, the shortstop, who has been in these moments before and has come through before. 2 men on and 1 out in a 4-run ball game.
This is the time for such a career Jumbo like Fleischer to prove a point. Has been dropped down to the 8th spot so far this season, just not hitting as effectively as he had in his past. But he's been the shoulder to lean on for Tufts in the past 3 seasons can he continue to be right now?
Fleischer struck out in his first at-bat, grounded out in his second. Now ahead on Tully 2-0. This is a hitter's count and a situation where you would love to see a pitch over the heart of the plate. The 2-0 pitch from Tully is down the middle for strike one.
And a hitter's count, it still is. Two runners on. You're looking for something you can drive into the outfield. Maybe send it to the wall, allow these 2 runners to score. Put yourself right back into the game.
2-1. Swung on and fouled back sharply. So from 2-0 to 2-2.
Good work from Tully to work himself back in his count, but the rule is here for Fleischer. Past the infield, that's all that matters, because a bobbler could end the inning right now.
2-2 pitch to Fleischer. Fouled again.
And he's seeing Tully's pitch as well here, fouling off of a pair. Now he's just got to put it all together and push it past this infield.
Fleischer, the grad student, was the 2023 NESCAC Defensive Player of the Year. He's a political science major, and he had a very successful year last year, hitting .308 with 25 RBIs. That one in the dirt. Ball goes to second base and gets through. That'll advance a runner. Runners both move up, and that ball gets away as well. Runners will stay at second and third, but on the passed ball, a bad throw from the catcher. Yardley gets away, and now no double play. Men on second and third, and a 3-2 count to Fleischer.
Yeah, Yardley at the start of the game, looking like a good arm behind the plate, had a really good pickoff earlier in the game, but pass ball there lets the runners advance, and an even better position for Fleischer now.
Now 3-2. Pitch is popped up into foul territory. Playable for the first baseman, but dropped by Swift at first, excuse me. A huge break for the Jumbos. That was a catchable ball. It was in Swift's glove, and he just couldn't squeeze it. So life remains for the Jumbos on what would have been a disappointing foul out from Fleischer. 3-2 will be your count again. And this is when you got to take advantage of a lucky break. Tully sets and delivers. Fleischer hits that one up the middle. He'll be out at first, but he'll get a run in on the ground out. So Tufts squeaks a little bit closer. 6-3 is your score now. Still a runner on third base now. 2 outs. So the dropped fly ball in foul territory leads to a run, and we'll see if that will be it for John Tully. Tully's pitch count up to 88 on the season, on the game, excuse me. Could be a conference. We'll see if this is the end of his day.
Yeah, John Martin looks like coming out, having a little word, going through it. You know, he's a vet down there in the dugout. Some word of advice. I think, he hasn't come out thus far in the game. I think he might let Tully stick for a sec.
And Tully looks like will remain in the game, so some words of encouragement. He just needs to get through one more batter, and this Bates team will be in a good spot. Here in the bottom of the 6th, 2 outs, man on third in a 3-run ball game. If Tully can get out of this with no further damage, it will just be the bottom of the 7th that Bates will have to deal with here in the shortened first half of a doubleheader in Medford. McCullough now at bat. He'll swing at the first pitch. He'll drive that deep center field, but playable. The center fielder under it. Ryan makes the grab, and so aggressive early in the count, but nothing to show for it. That'll end the 6th inning. The score now 6-3. Bates remains on top after 1 run is scored by the Jumbos. Will now head to the 7th. Bates will look to add on and then look to shut the door on Tufts University. We will be right back. Joe Yoxel, the second baseman, leading off here in the top of the 7th for Bates. It is Jacob Lapp remaining on the mound. He will look for his second straight outing of 7 innings. Pitch count at 88 thus far. We'll see if there's a quick hook on him. Starts off the inning 1-1 to Yoxel.
Yeah, I think he's looked pretty good out there after the second bomb, rather. But, 6 strikeouts a season high. Only 2 runs earned by him, 1 walk. You could ask for worse, and the score line does not demonstrate Lapp's outing today.
Certainly a strong outing for Lapp. That one to the shortstop. Fleischer picks it up on the run and throws the first base for the out. Another quick out from Lapp. And, as you mentioned, the scoreline certainly does not reflect the quality of his outing. Now through 6 1/3. Only 2 earned runs. A 6th spot on the scoreboard came on the back of several errors in the infield for Tufts. Now 1 out here in the 7th. Another one swung on the first pitch. Fair ball. Smothered at third on a dive by Henshin, but no throw. So a man on now with 1 out. Henshin did a good job keeping that from going for extra bases.
Yeah, not a bad attempt there by Henshin. Obviously, getting up and making that throw is going to be a whole nother thing because you're all the way almost past third base at that point. But good job keeping it within the infield.
Sullivan now up. He's 2 for 3 on the day with a home run. Made a great play at shortstop earlier as well. He'll bat with a runner on and 1 out. Pick play on to first. Safe is the call.
Yeah, he's been their spark plug so far. Some great plays we've seen defensively, but, capped off
Another pick to first and safe yet again.
Capped off their great inning in the second. I think he's kind of looking to deal a death blow here to Lapp and the Jumbos, but a statement strikeout or a statement double play could turn the tides into the bottom of the frame.
Yet to throw a pitch to Sullivan, another pick attempt.
Jake, as a former baseball player yourself, how do you feel when you're up at bat and the pitcher's just throwing pickoff after pickoff?
Well, honestly, at this point, Gibby Sullivan is the Bates leading hitter. I'm taking that as a sign of respect. He doesn't want to pitch to me. He's at 93 pitches. I've already seen him throw to me twice. This is my 3rd at bat against him, and I got a runner on. So
First actual pitch to Sullivan swung on and missed, so 0-1 is the count. Checking in on the softball game over at Spicer. Jumbos lead 1-0 against Bowdoin in the second half of this doubleheader on JumboCast today. You can tune into that as well. It's the top of the second over there. Right here At the get, it is the top of the 7th, 1 out, and an 0-1 count to Sullivan. Continuing to check in on the runner is Lapp. Second pitch is grounded to third baseman Henshin. He'll throw across the diamond, and a strong throw gets Sullivan at first. So 2 outs now in the top of the 7th, and one more will be most likely it for Lapp's day, and will give the Jumbos a chance to potentially come back and tie or win the game in the bottom of the 7th inning in the first half of this doubleheader. But coming to bat is David Swift, and he will be looking to extend the Bates lead and make it even tougher for the Jumbos to climb out of that hole. First pitch to Swift is low.
I do want to say, though, that's a sneaky, great defensive play by Henshin. I think that ball took a hop off the bag, which is impossible to read as a third baseman, but makes a really nice throw to Lisco, keeps it from being 2 on for Swift, and gets him 1 out away from their final attempt to come back.
Lapp now behind 2-0 against David Swift, who dropped that pop fly in foul territory last inning. 1 run came in afterwards because of it.
You got to wonder if at any point in that play he was thinking about that dugout that he was about to run into. He's coming in charging from first, and I know that sometimes when you're approaching an unmovable object such as the dugout fence, it might get in your head, and you might be a little wary of that as you're trying to make a catch.
I was always terrible at catching fly balls in my career as a baseball, so they kept me in the infield.
Let me guess, second base.
Usually third.
Okay. All right, so
And
do
then
you have an arm, that means?
a little bit, and then first occasionally as well. But no success came of that. Now 3-1, swung on, grounded to the shortstop Fleischer. He'll throw to first, and 7 innings for the pitcher Jacob Lapp. He did his job today, although the scoreboard says 6-3. Only 3 of those runs were earned. His final line, 2 of those were earned. 7 innings, 6 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts for Lapp, his second straight outing of 7 innings. And despite that 6th spot and that 5 spot in the second inning, the Jumbos are in a position to at least maybe tie this game, maybe win it. Here in the bottom of the 2nd, they need 3 runs to tie, 4 to win. It's do or die in the bottom of the 7th. And we will have this is the first half of a doubleheader. The second half will be a 9-inning game. It will not be broadcast on JumboCast here today. Our apologies. But we should have at least a half inning here of entertaining baseball, as John Tully will remain in the game for the Bates Bobcats.
Yeah, this guy's up at 96 pitches right now, so wouldn't be shocked if there's a quick hook on him, but also wouldn't be shocked if, despite the score, the Jumbos try to stay patient in the box, and, try to keep this pitch count even higher, maybe try to bring a new arm in that might change the tides.
Well, it's not often that you see 2 pitchers throughout an entire game, especially in college baseball. Only 2 pitchers for both teams combined, if Tully is able to retire the last 3 tough batters.
2 defensive changes for Bates. It will be Tyler Tucker in at third base for Ben Genzer, and it will be Ben Gismondi in to right field for Margoloff. So 2 defensive changes. Ben Jesmondi in right field. My apologies. He will be a defensive substitution here as we see the top of the Tufts lineup. The leadoff hitter, Ben Leonard, at the plate has not been his most successful day, though he did drive in a run on a sac fly earlier. This is who you want at bat, though, if you're the Jumbos. Top of your lineup, middle of the order coming up as the count runs to 2-1.
That's
3-1.
exactly right. Top of your lineup, last chance. Where you want to be?
Swinging 3-1 and missing is Ben Leonard. Now a full count to begin the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, good from Tully there. Got down in the count really quickly, 3-0, but back up to full.
And he'll draw ball 4 on a pitch outside. So another walk issued by Tully, who's up over 100 pitches now on the day and shows no sign of leaving the ball game, except I might have to eat my words. Here comes the head coach, John Martin, and that might be it for John Tully's day. 102 pitches, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and 3 walks. That'll be it. We will take a quick break as we prepare for a pitching change. 1 man on here in the bottom of the 7th. Into the ball game for the Bates Bobcats in a save situation will be Charlie Cariello from Bedford, New Hampshire. The 6'3" pitcher has been potentially the most effective for Bates this season. 7 innings, a 1.29 ERA. Not very overpowering, only 3 strikeouts in those 7 innings, but only 3 hits and 2 runs, only 1 earned allowed. So he'll come in with a runner on and try to shut the door on this Tufts team that would love to make a late game comeback here in the bottom of the 7th. 6-3 is your score. Runner on first base. No outs and a 1-0 count.
Well, should he record the save, it'll be his first of the season. Jumbo's trying to avoid such an outcome with 1 runner on here in the bottom of the 7th, and if they're going to win, it's going to be on a walk-off.
Yeah, but a walk-off would be story of Cariello's young Bates career. As good of his stats look, he is 0-2 thus far in his reliever. A lot of shouts about that call from the dugout.
Looked a little bit outside, but umpire calls a strike on the outside corner. Nonetheless, so 1 and 2 is your count to A.J. Lisco. Grounded out twice and struck out so far today. The first baseman takes that one outside. That one's a ball, 2 and 2.
If you're Lisco, you really want to keep everything off the ground here. If you're the reliever coming in here, it's your job to get a ball on the ground, roll something up for a double play.
It's what he would like. That one off the end of the bat and foul. 2 and 2 remains the count. Cariello versus Lisco. High pressure situation. Jumbo's down 3 runs here.
Only 1 RBI on the season for Lisco. Looking to maybe add to that tally with a big hit here.
Let's go batting .313 coming into today. OPS 856. He'll swing and miss. Some devastating off-speed stuff from Cariello. Gets the first out here in the bottom of the 7th. That will bring up the right fielder, Cooper Smith, who has 2 singles today.
2 singles, and that'll add to his total of 23 coming into the game. Continues to lead the Jumbos in hits. Let's see if we can tack on another here in a huge spot.
Righty on righty matchup. First pitch. Whoa. Called for strike on the outside corner. 0-1 now.
And if you're Cariello, that's how you want to start out that at-bat. Establish yourself. Get ahead early.
0-1 pitch to Smith. Is inside and called for strike 2. 0-2 now to Smith. Cariello is painting here in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, that was a curveball, and that one just dropped right in there.
Cariello, a big guy, over 6'3". You can see him on the mound. Intimidating presence, and up 0-2 against Smith. He delivers, and just outside. Catcher Yardley wanted that call. Turns around and has a word with the umpire, but it will be 1-2.
Yeah, but a curve is something that you don't see too much out of relievers. You look more high-speed guys, but some tactical stuff that Cariello can drop in there.
1-2 now. Spikes it. Runner goes. Throw from Yardley's in the dirt and gets through. So safe at second is the runner. That's Ben Leonard. And with 1 out, there will be no double play situation, at least for now, as the count is now 2-2.
That is huge. Getting out of the double play situation is a big W for the Jumbos, looking to tack on 3 more runs. You can't make any outs on the base pass, but good aggressive base running by Ben Leonard.
Leonard with a lead off second base. Cariello will step off the mound and look to reset.
Yeah, the Jumbos have not gotten it past the infield. Maybe looking for some of that Jared Cohen corked bat pop right now.
It was not corked. It was just against regulations.
Maybe you should call up your buddy, get him into the dugout right now.
2-2 swung on and fouled off. So staying alive is Cooper Smith, making Cariello work for it. Tully ended his day with 108 pitches. His season high, he got through 6 before ceding to Cariello. Do it again, 2-2. The pitch is swung on and driven to left field. That ball is high, and it will sneak foul off the bat of Smith. He drove that ball to left field. He got a breaking ball and turned on it, but he just pulled it foul. Got the crowd on their feet, but just couldn't straighten it out. We'll do it 2-2 one more time.
Yeah, that looked beautiful off the bat. I thought maybe that was going to sneak inside the pole. It pulled pretty far out as it got deep, but
Surely had the distance on it, though.
Surely did
100%.
have the distance. That would have been a home run had it stayed fair, but it went foul. Now 2-2. Cariello will step off yet again, and
so goes 3-2 now as a balk.
going to be a ball on the illegal step off. So 3-2 is the count now. Opens up the options for the batter Smith. 3-2 count, man on second. Pitch is popped up by Smith on the infield. Hat comes off, but the ball is caught by Yoxel. So 2 outs. Smith made some hard contact in that at-bat, but couldn't straighten it out. And now it comes down to James Henshin, the freshman, has recorded a single today. He's 1 for 3. Would like to at least extend this ball game.
Yeah, 7-pitch at bat. Pole-defying, near home run just to end with infield fly. It's got to sting for the Jumbos just a little bit, but job is not finished yet for Cariello. You know, wasn't the best string of pitches he put together. He let a batter advance, let a balk in, but it's all or nothing here for Henshin.
Henshin sets up in the back of the box. Cariello looking to close the door. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch from Cariello is low for a ball.
Cariello switching up his look there, taking a couple extra seconds to make sure that runner on second base, Ben Leonard, was all squared away. Not a bad idea. He is pretty fast.
One-0 pitch, swung on that ball into the gap, but hangs up in the air. It's caught by the right fielder, and that will do it. Final score here, 6-3. The Bates College Bobcats snap a 7-game losing skid and take game 1 of today's doubleheader against the Tufts University Jumbo. 6-3 your final score. 6 runs on 8 hits. And Bates will win it on the back of a strong pitching performance from John Tully and 2 home runs, 1 from Gibby Sullivan and 1 from Liam Yardley. A disappointing showing for the Tufts University Jumbos. They were looking to take as many games as possible as they could this weekend as they try to get back into the NESCAC. But unfortunately, Bates will move to 2-9. The Jumbos will fall to 6-10 in this 7-inning first half of a doubleheader. The second half of today's doubleheader, which will be 9 innings, will, due to some last-second scheduling changes, not be broadcast on JumboCast here today. We apologize for that. The second half of the softball doubleheader is still underway at Spicer, and you can watch that on JumboCast right now if you would like to. Thank you all for watching today. My name is Jared Cohen. I've been joined on color commentary by Jake Stoller and Sam Weinstein. Final score, 6-3. Bates Bobcats get out of here with a win, and please do stay home safely.